What's happening now? We're about to send you back to the future!
Ho! Ho! Hello! And welcome to a special Christmas episode of Back to the Revuture, the show in which we take a classic Christmas movie that one of us or both of us might not have seen before, and we take a look at it now. I'm Drew Bridger.
I'm Amber Inch.
And you join us in our home, coming up to the day of Christmas, where we are in our recording space, nice and toasty, with some Christmas jumpers on, and some hot chocolate in hand, some of those little, if you can picture it, those little mini marshmallows just bobbing around in the top.
I don't want to point out that you're wearing a t-shirt.
I'm imagining myself. I don't actually own a Christmas jumper, but if you can picture me in a Christmas jumper, then it adds to the ambience.
You can have my Christmas jumper, it's too big.
Okay, I'll wear yours then.
Okay.
It's the season of giving, isn't it, I suppose? And we're nice and toasty by an open fire, which is really unnerving because we don't have a fireplace in this room. It's just one that I've started out of the wrapping paper. Oh. So I'd put that out before it gets a little bit too out of control, unless we're planning to cook anything on it.
I actually needed that wrapping paper.
That's a bit awkward.
Why are you starting fires with wrapping paper?
Because I just got really frustrated at it. I couldn't fold it properly. I'm trying to wrap a bottle of wine. How do you wrap a bottle of wine?
You don't.
It's an awkward shape.
Put it in a bag.
I don't have a bag. I only have the paper.
Bag.
That's really awkward. Well, I'll know what someone's got me now if they give it to me in a bag. That's spoiled that surprise, hasn't it? It's really awkward because I don't drink wine. But we are looking at a Christmas movie once again for our third Christmas special, which is exciting, isn't it?
Third?
I'd have thought we'd have run out of Christmas films that we hadn't seen by this point, but apparently not.
Action.
There was a hand motion to go along with it. Apparently not.
What was the first one that we did?
The first one that we did, and if anyone does want to go back, if you run out of other Christmas podcasts to listen to, Christmas podcasts, I don't know if there's that many Christmas podcasts out there, the Christmas special podcasts. If you run out of other Christmas specials to listen to, and you're sick of Mrs. Brown's Boys for the 7th year in a row, or I don't even know if they're still doing Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I don't know.
Let's hope not. Our first ever Christmas special that we did was Gremlins, which was, in my humble opinion, one of our best episodes that we've done. I'm not going to name any like this is our number one defining episode that you need to go and listen to. Like if someone said, what do you think your best episode that you've done is? Like I couldn't name
probably that
what that is, but Gremlins is pretty high up towards that list.
The Karate Kid one was pretty good just because I liked Karate Kid so much.
Yeah, you ended up really, really liking Karate Kid, and that led into a whole world of a franchise that you didn't expect to be into.
No.
And now here we are, find ourselves this year with Sensei Johnny Lawrence on top of our tree.
The angel.
What we do every year is we have a different tree topper that is relevant to our interests of that year. In the last couple of years, it's kind of been the same one that we've had from Auntie Donna.
No, there was another one.
Was there another one that we did?
We did something else and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, you might be right. I think the first year that we did it, we did something unusual. The last couple of years, we've had Auntie Donna, we've had the freeze frame from their Pud sketch. And if you don't know who Auntie Donna are, Australian sketch trio of comedians that do improv and do sketches online. Definitely worth it. But their big one that they get the most views out of every year is their Always Room for Christmas Pud sketch. And it's just not Christmas in this house till we've watched that, if I'm being honest.
Oh, no.
It's just not Christmas till we watch Pud.
It again.
We're going to watch Pud. In fact, that's what we're going to do after this.
No, it isn't.
No, in fact, I'm going to go so far as to say... In fact, we're going to watch it right now, live on the podcast. We're going to watch Pud. Oh, I would pay them.
Oh, no.
But this year we have Johnny Lawrence on top of our tree. And I think that is relevant to our interests because of Cobra Kai Season 5 coming out. And if there's a better angel out in the world than Sensei Johnny Lawrence, I have yet to find it.
Yeah.
So he is adorning...
I can't see, I don't know.
No, I can't forget what it was first year, but he is currently adorning the top of our tree. And as for the Christmas movie that we watched last year, we did A Christmas Story.
I remember that, yeah.
But this year is a special one, Amber. This year is really special because...
I was there, I don't know if it was that special.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it is A Wonderful Life, isn't it? Around this time of year. Everything makes you think that it is a wonderful life, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a shame because we're not actually doing It's a Wonderful Life. Even though this season does make you really feel like there's a lot of love, actually. Doesn't it?
Yeah, we should have done that.
Don't say that, because we haven't actually done that. We haven't done that one either.
I feel like that's more shocking when you tell people that you haven't seen it.
See, here's the thing. I feel like we both have watched Love Actually, just not all in one go.
I haven't.
Have you not?
No. Yesterday was the most I saw of it.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't even watch all of it.
Well, we didn't watch. We watched like the middle part of it, I think. Which was...
I don't know how it starts. I don't know how it all kicks off.
I've definitely watched multiple times the last 45 minutes of the film.
Oh, no, it was not even
so
that much.
nothing
like
is a surprise to me at that point.
I've seen.
See, there's so many other films that I've heard a lot of people saying to me, oh, you should do this film. It's a real classic for Christmas. Oh, you should do this film. This counts as a Christmas movie. Actually, do you know what? I would say Die Hard, but I think we've both seen Die Hard anyway, and the whole trope of Die Hard being a Christmas movie now is like, yeah,
lame.
Okay, like, we get it at this point. It's not a personality trait to like Die Hard as a Christmas movie. But I've had a lot of people saying, oh, Batman Returns counts as a Christmas movie. I agree. It totally does.
Yeah, but I've seen that.
Absolutely does. The Holiday is a really big one.
Oh, yeah, really
that
is.
a lot of people say is their big one to watch around the holidays and Christmas.
Yeah.
There's a few others that I thought we should do.
Other day.
It was. Maybe we should have watched that.
No, boring.
To be honest, this year it was a toss-up between the film that we have done and Jingle All the Way.
No.
But I knew that would be your reaction to it.
I can't watch a whole film with him talking.
That's a little bit harsh against Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's just annoying.
Is it?
Maybe actually it's not that bad. I just picture your impression of him for an hour and a half.
Nah, I had to go and get Turbo Man, but there wasn't any Turbo Man, so I became Turbo Man, and I had to go and get him, because they're all out of stock. I can't find any. There's none anywhere. Yeah, it's annoying. It's all that my boy wants. He's a Turbo Man. You mean like that for the whole life?
He's not dumb,
I hear it now. I hear it now. I hear how annoying it is.
Yeah, really annoying.
Yeah, I can understand that for an hour and a half would get quite annoying.
Yeah.
Because not only would you have an hour and a half of Arnie actually yelling at you, you'd have a further hour and a half of me as Arnie yelling at you after that, immediately following it.
I can't handle it.
So it would technically be 3 hours of Arnie.
He makes me want to cough.
Explain yourself.
You know when you're talking to somebody and they have that thing in their throat that makes them sound like they need to cough, but they're not coughing, so you feel like you have to cough, and like your throat's like, oh, cough. That's what it's like listening to him talk.
Okay. It's
like, oh, got something in my throat. Oh.
It's because his neck muscles are so thick. That's why.
His voice sounds like.
It's because he works out so much, and part of that, he's got neck exercises that he has to do. He like lifts weights by like putting them on the back of his head and just lifting his head up like that. So all of the back of his neck is like, and he's like pulls it back like that, like that.
That's what I mean. How do you not want to cough? It's making me want to cough now.
Well, that was an adverse thing that I didn't mean to have happen.
I know, but have you ever had that though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. I don't hear it when I listen to Arnie.
Why?
Oh, because I'm just used to it.
No, I'm not saying he sounds like he needs to cough, but it's the same kind of idea. When I hear him talking, because of the way he's like really throaty, it makes me want to go.
I heard someone say the same thing about Batman.
I kind of. I don't
like
know.
Christian Bale's Batman.
No, because I know that's not his actual voice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is his actual voice.
No,
he's
it's
just putting
not.
on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He
just
doesn't actually
deepening
talk like that.
Well, I mean, depends how much you annoy him, I suppose. He might get like that. He might go into
he
Batman
doesn't. We
mode.
know what he's like when he gets.
Oh,
angry.
good for you! Good for you! Was it worth it? Just walking around all la-di-da-di-da. Do you know what? Something you need to know about me, that I'm sure you already know, but the listeners might not. Sometimes when I get really annoyed, and I know that I'm getting annoyed, and like I have an existential moment of how annoyed I'm getting, I just do that instead. I just get just to cheer myself up. Just to go, oh, I'm being a bit Christian Bale here, aren't I? Oh, la-di-da-di-da. We are done professionally.
I bet that guy couldn't wait. He was like, yippee.
Now don't tell me to calm down, McG.
That's what he calls him.
That's his name. That's the director's name, McG. He just goes by McG.
What's his actual name?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's just his actual name.
What?
Well, not his actual name, obviously. It doesn't say McG on his birth certificate. It's just what he goes by in the film industry.
No, but his last name might actually be McG.
Yeah, probably.
Like Jerry McG.
Yeah, maybe.
Gene McG.
G McG. It's the shortest name in history.
No, Gene.
Gene?
Gene McG.
G?
Gene.
Bees?
Gene Parmesan.
So, the Christmas movie that we are doing this year was one that I'd seen a lot of people saying was considered a classic, and I didn't realise how many people had this as one of their regular Christmas viewing, like, must-do lists.
Yeah,
right?
literally today, before you told me what film we were watching, it came up on my Facebook. There's a picture. I don't know how old it is, because, I mean, it might be this year, it might have been last year, but there's a picture of Chevy Chase looking, like, really small and fat and old, wearing a Griswold something jumper, whatever. And somebody who I know commented underneath it saying, "This is my favourite Christmas film of all time."
Wow.
I was like, oh.
See, I wouldn't place it that high as favourite of all time.
Yeah, why?
But I can understand why it's one of those films.
I mean, you laughed a lot.
Do you know what?
You laughed a lot.
Do you know what I did? I laughed way more at this film than I did at A Christmas Story. And I thought A Christmas Story
wasn't that funny, wasn't it?
was meant to be a comedy film. I thought the whole thing of Christmas Story was that it was like a flat out comedy movie.
There was one funny bit of that when the kid fell over in a snowsuit and couldn't get up. Like,
that
was
was
funny.
Yeah, that was good. There were a few. I mean, it had some funny moments, but I feel like A Christmas Story. I mean, just in case you hadn't seen the title of the episode, we are watching a Christmas, National Lampoon's A Christmas Vacation. So it's National Lampoon's and it's Chevy Chase, so it is comedy, which, you know, makes a lot of sense.
Which is why you laughed so much.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to get it out of the way. Like, I feel like there's a point at which you've buried the lead too much on the film that you're watching by not saying it.
What's the podcast going to be called?
Well, yeah, I know it's in the title of the podcast. But hey, someone may have just downloaded this episode and gone, "Yep, that looks good." Not looked at the title and was there listening and like not looking at their phone because they couldn't get to their podcast player to see what was playing because they were doing other things. They had wireless earphones in, and they're there and they're just frantically going, "Tell me what the film is! Tell me what it's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation."
I thought you'd actually mentioned it already.
I hadn't. I was attempting to bury the lead a little bit, and then I felt like it had gone on way too much. So that's the film that we're watching. But I can understand why it's high on people's Christmas must-watch list. Because I feel like there are a few that are S-tier Christmas films. S-tier.
What's that?
Well, you know these tier lists, they go S, which is like super, like God tier, like untouchable at the top, then A, B, C, D, E, and F.
Oh.
Well, I mean, sometimes they go E and F, but it usually goes S down to D.
I'd put this at like...
See, like S tier...
I'd put this at like C, probably.
Yeah,
It's not the worst, but I didn't really laugh.
But this is what I'm saying, like, there are some S tier films that are...
Karate Kid.
A Christmas one. Well, alright,
Oh.
you would watch Karate Kid no matter what, I suppose.
Yeah.
So there's no holding you back from that at this point.
It could be Christmas. He might have got that bike for Christmas. How do we know?
I mean, he might have got karate lessons for Christmas. Who knows?
There we go.
Who knows?
Bonsais can be festive.
They can. You can dress up bonsais in little Christmas lights. Mr. Miyagi would probably frown on it.
That'd be so cute. We should do that.
Oh, you really want to keep a bonsai tree?
No, I saw a really huge, amazing looking fake one when I was in the shop the other day.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Well, it's not huge, but I think it's big for a bonsai tree.
We could get a Lego bonsai tree and put lights around it, couldn't we? That would never need any kind of sorting at all.
Oh, neither would the fake one.
I mean, here's the thing though. There's not enough like bushiness to it to support the lights. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should then.
It was a nice full bonsai.
Well, you finally got your poinsettia, so...
Poinsettia.
I
saw loads in this film. Loads of poinsettias.
Yeah, that's an American...
House, though, for some reason, just in their office.
Yeah, because they're meant to be like an outside one, aren't they?
You're not supposed to put them outside in the winter. They freeze.
Oh,
you
right,
have to keep them inside in the winter. And then they're a spring flower.
But you said it's an American thing to have them around Christmas.
I know, but he lived in New York. It's freezing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why they were all in the house.
They could probably be outside if he lived in, like,
Orlando.
Texas.
Texas. Texas is hot all year round. There's no Christmas weather in Texas.
No.
Or Los Angeles would probably be quite hot as well.
Yeah, that'd be fine. That's why you see them outside in, like, Hollywood.
Hollywood. Yeah, so you got your Christmas poinsettia finally, so maybe a Christmas bonsai is something to...
And I saw a Christmas cactus, and it was the most perfect thing, and I wanted it so bad.
Oh, God. You're going to start a little collection of little
so good,
indoor plants. We're
like
going to be one of those people, aren't we?
It was ceramic.
Oh, okay.
But it was like proper green cactus, like perfect, like 2 arms, and it was just had those little lights all over it, and it was it was so nice. It was the best.
You're a sucker for a good Christmas plant, aren't you?
And it was not real.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like anything that's like
cactus, it just looks so good. I was watching The Simpsons.
Of course.
And they went somewhere, and it was a bit deserty, and they had Christmas there.
All
and
right.
outside they had decorated a cactus with Christmas lights, and I looked at it and I went, I want a Christmas castle. And so I Googled it, and they came up.
I imagine that is an
so good,
actual
honestly.
thing.
And
I imagine that it's...
I saw it on one of those, like, voucher websites for cheap.
Oh.
So... No.
Yeah, Groupon or something,
Yeah.
right.
So it wasn't Groupon, but yeah. It was like £14. And every other website and every other seller was selling it for like £80-90.
Oh my god.
And it was exactly the same, because it had the same bottom, it said the same brand. How they were selling it for that cheap, it was like gone down like 10 times.
So,
I would have bought it then and there if it was a battery one, but it was a plug-in.
Oh, okay, all right. That hallelujah that was the one thing that's...
I'm
that
gonna
was
buy
the
it now
one thing
because
that
of what
stopped
you
you.
said.
Oh, no. Oh, really shot myself in the foot there.
It's so nice though.
Sucker for a big Christmas plant. I mean, what's it going to do the rest of the year? Just sit and
Same
chill,
as
I
all
suppose.
the rest of the Christmas stuff.
Just sit and chill, I suppose.
What does your lightsaber do?
I mean, I am constantly running around with my lightsaber at the moment, thank you very much.
I can run around with that cactus if you want.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd like to see who would win in a fight between those two. But
they
there
are
we
quite
go.
spiky.
But anyway, there are some S-tier Christmas movies that are undeniably...
Elf.
People go, yes, Elf. Elf is S-tier.
Grinch.
S-tier.
I actually think Gremlins.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh.
S-tier. I
Gremlins.
personally... Yeah, Gremlins. I mean, yeah.
Everyone can relate. Not relate, but everyone can enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely. I would argue Die Hard, A tier, maybe B. It still counts. Still counts as a Christmas movie. It's not S tier though. It's not S tier. I feel it's like arguably like around A tier. Maybe
this
B.
film?
No, Die Hard.
Oh right.
Batman Returns. A tier.
Scrooged.
A tier.
Yeah.
Right? That's up there at A tier. I feel like when you get down to B and maybe C tiers, that's when the films kind of like muddle together as far as interchangeable ones for people's favourites go.
Yeah.
And I feel like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation sits somewhere in that area between like A and B tier, maybe C tier.
That's very generous.
But it's like dependent on how you see the film as far as nostalgia goes. Like I would say A Christmas Story, I would say that's sort of B to C tier.
Yeah, that's where I put Home Alone.
Home Alone probably in my
It kind of gets on my nerves.
yeah.
The only thing about
That's
the only part
C-tier.
about Home Alone
and people can fight me on that if they want, but this is just opinion based, right? This isn't like an official.
Obviously.
This is an unofficial, official Back to the Future Christmas tier list.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll actually go and make this tier list and put it online at some point. But frankly, we're all busy at this time of year. We've all got stuff to do. If I have a day off, maybe I'll do it. But frankly, if I'm probably going to be comatose from the amount of cheese I'll end up eating.
Oh dear.
How dare you? How
Oh
dare
dear.
you?
I said, oh dear.
How dare you? I know.
I was going to say something, but I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, okay, sorry.
What
You
were
were
you
probably talking
talking
about
about? Some
Home
type of
Alone,
films.
how
Oh,
much it
yeah,
annoys
Home
you.
Alone. No, I was talking about Home Alone and saying the only part of the film that I actually really like is when he pretends to have the people dancing and they turn up outside the house in the car and there's music and there's like the mannequins dancing at the window and stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, and it's just like, how
Just
dumb
thinking
do
about
you
that
have to
as
be
well.
to fall for
It was a good
literally a
trick,
cardboard
though.
cutout
It was
on
such
a
good trick.
on a train, like going round? And it's just like, oh look,
I
there are
love
people
it.
in. Obviously,
I love
there are people in.
Oh, they're having a party.
They're
I
obviously
love
having a
that.
party.
I'm going to get a Roomba and put like a cat out on it. And then people will think that,
Oh my god! Can it be a life-size cutout of Johnny Lawrence?
yeah. And then everyone will be like, how does she know the Karate Kid? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, William Zabka going around on our Roomba.
Because
Amazing.
he is the Karate Kid.
Yeah, obviously. So I feel like when you get down to the A, B, maybe C tier, D is exclusively reserved.
Mickey Mouse is Once Upon a Christmas S tier.
S tier, yeah, absolutely agree. That's fine with me. D, the bottom level D level ones, and again, people are allowed to like these, but I'm saying that as far as quality goes, they're not high up on the list. That's why they're at the bottom, and people are allowed to like them for the lack of quality that they have.
Oh, every Hallmark film that's ever
Yes,
come out.
all of the films that are on the Hallmark channel that have the exact same cover and poster
Yeah, they're all
of the
same.
film.
They're all the same.
You know,
I've
they're all holding
I've
like a
probably-
cake or a guitar or a set of skis, or, you know, it's a cover, and you know, they're like frowning at one another, but they're obviously in love with one another, and it's like, oh god, like the exact same storyline, but it's in a different city with a different business in a different location.
Yeah. The woman always owns a company that needs to get work from somewhere, and the guy that she's working with she hates and she's constantly fighting with, and then in the end they love each other and they were right for each other all along.
Essentially, You've Got Mail at Christmas, but swap out the business that they individually work in.
Yeah.
So that is exclusively reserved for every single Hallmark movie that is like that. And again, people can like them, people can love them if they want.
But the reason why people like it is because they can sit down and go, oh, there's Christmas stuff happening and I don't even have to pay attention.
Right? Absolutely. Whereas
fine,
something like Muppet Christmas Carol demands your attention, no matter
Not
how many
really.
times you've seen it. That is a gather round, we are watching this film,
bet Michael
and we are
Caine's actually-
feeling the joy.
I bet Michael Caine is actually really happy he did that now.
Yeah.
Did
I
he
bet
want
he
to do
is.
it in the first place, or was he being a bit like miserable about it?
I don't know. I feel like he might not have been the original first choice. I feel like there was someone else that was due to do it, and they turned the part down, and Michael Caine came in and did it and was like,
I bet they're punching themselves.
yeah, probably. Either that or they got Michael Caine. I saw this thing online that really made me laugh, and it was just, imagine the conversation that they had with Michael Caine for Muppet Christmas Carol, where they're going, okay, it's a Muppet Christmas movie, you don't need to take it too seriously, just play it nice and light.
kids.
We're doing it all for the jokes. And Michael Caine is like, I'm going to play this as serious as a heart attack. Like, I am going to give the definitive...
Yeah, he's a talented actor.
Yeah! Like, I am going to give the definitive Scrooge acting chops. And I'm going to play this deathly serious throughout the whole film. And then we got blessed with Muppet Christmas Carol, the greatest film to have ever been made by human or Muppet hands. And you can take that to the bank.
To the bank.
To the bank!
To the bank
You can take that to the bank.
of Ebenezer.
The bank of Scrooge.
Apparently, he absolutely loves it.
Of course he does.
Because he said that when somebody mentioned it, his daughter was 7. And he, up until that point, obviously, had never made a movie that a 7-year-old could watch.
Right.
So somebody mentioned Muppets, and he was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I love it. I
So he
love
loves it.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it for him. I absolutely agree that is most likely what happened. So, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. What did you think this was kind of gonna be about before watching it? Because I haven't even done the bit yet. We're half an hour in and I haven't done the bit. As we do every episode, the person that hasn't seen the film gets to give us an idea of what they thought the film was going to be about before watching it. So I know that it's a very generic title, but I'm assuming that you knew that Chevy Chase was in this.
I knew it was Chevy Chase.
Right.
I didn't know that National Lampoon was the title of the group or whoever, whatever. I thought it was the name of their family.
Oh,
Not
right.
National, obviously.
No,
The
but
Lampoon
like...
part. And National was like, Lampoon, the Lampoons of America. You know, like
Right.
the National Lampoons. You know,
No, I
like
get
when you go to Disney and people are wearing like T-shirts that all match and they
Yeah,
say, and they're
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
traveling Smiths or whatever.
The whooping cranes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No. That one joke from Frasier does make me laugh. That one joke. I mean, all of Frasier makes me laugh, but that one joke in particular. That's a whole other diatribe we could get into, is our Frasier talk. Maybe we'll do a Frasier podcast one day.
Oh, it's already been done.
So it has
Kevin
already
Smith
been.
did it.
Kevin Smith did do it. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, if he
Yeah.
wasn't so damn creative,
I know.
honestly.
I wonder how popular that was because I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
It went for a while. It went
Well, yeah,
for
because
a
the series
while.
is long.
Yes. But, no, I understand what you mean. But,
yeah,
no,
so
it's
that's
the
what
comedy
I thought.
group.
And I thought they were going on holiday.
Yeah. Okay. Is that literally what you
I
thought
it was that literal.
Okay.
And then when
Alright.
it started and they were driving, I was like, oh, they're driving to holiday.
Yeah. It always starts, the National Lampoon's movies. I believe it kind of always starts with a scene with them in the car on their way somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, because they did National Lampoon's Vacation, then they did National Lampoon's European Vacation, and then they did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
But they're all about something different.
Yeah.
And they're all about different people.
No, it's still Chevy Chase and the Griswold family. They are all the Griswold family.
So it's still the kids.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, weird.
And then they did National Lampoon's Vegas Vacation after this, which was a whole 8 years
what?
after
And that was
this
kids
one.
as well.
Yeah.
The same kids.
I think it might have been the same actors playing the kids, yeah.
Oh.
And speaking of, there are a lot of
But
people...
why is this called Christmas Vacation? They didn't go anywhere.
Well, because they're on Christmas break, I suppose.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just like the family getting together for a Christmas break.
Like Christmas holiday.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't realise the kid in this is Leonard from...
Leonard Hofstadter.
Leonard Hofstadter from Big Bang Theory. Like, and he has been turning up in so many other things that he was doing before
And he
Big
actually
Bang
looks
Theory.
exactly the same as well.
It's so funny.
He still have those like tiny eyes.
It's so
Because he doesn't actually
weird.
wear glasses in real life.
No,
I
he
haven't
doesn't.
seen him wear well, I mean maybe he should, but he wears contacts or something. But I haven't I've never seen him wear glasses.
No,
in real life.
any other time I've seen him in anything, he hasn't been wearing glasses.
No, but his eyes are so small, I don't know how he can see. No,
Bit harsh.
but they're really small.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, so you agree.
well, okay,
So
yeah.
you agree they're small.
So you agree. Oh, so you agree. Agree with what? You agree that they're small eyes. I never said I agree. I was just saying, okay, him wearing glasses does make his eyes look a little bit more normal. Sorry, Johnny Galecki. But I just find it weird that this guy ended up... Okay, granted, he ended up doing one of the biggest into syndication
Yeah.
shows since like Friends and Seinfeld and things like that. The success the Big Bang Theory
Yeah,
had
crazy.
was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Is it any good? I don't think so.
I watch it all the time.
But you don't laugh at it though. Like, don't you find that weird? Like, you still laugh at Friends. You still laugh at Friends. You've watched Friends, like, 20 times. Like, anytime I'm like, should we start a new series? Start watching a new series. It's like, yeah, we could, but Friends is on Comedy Central again.
No.
Oh, okay,
I don't
alright.
really, I don't really watch that anymore.
But you
like,
still
if
laugh.
I saw it, oh yeah, I would still
Yeah.
laugh if I did watch it. That's so funny.
But you don't really
But you
laugh
don't
at...
laugh though.
You don't really laugh at Big Bang Theory.
There are like some bits sometimes that I laugh at, but yeah, you're right.
Someone once erased all of the canned laughter.
Oh yeah,
from...
it's creepy, but that's the same as everything though.
It's just weird.
It is just weird.
Yeah.
And because I kind of feel that if the UK has got an American sitcom, then it's done really well.
Yeah.
Because there must be loads that go out over there that we don't see.
Yeah.
And they might be kind of big there, but not big enough to come over here.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are some that get put on things like E4 or, you know,
I know, but they must. But that's what I mean. They must be big enough for them to warrant buying them here.
Yeah, and I feel like there are just so many sitcoms out there. Like, you know, I think they call it the term that they have for those particular ones, like Big Bang Theory, is 3-camera sitcoms. Because every scene is based on a 3-camera setup. Like, one side filming one person, one side filming another person, then one head on.
Yeah.
It's always a 3-camera setup.
I want to be in a sitcom once.
Just once. You don't want to be in
it every day.
You don't want to be in a sitcom that's actually successful and do it as a job and get loads of money.
No, I'd want to be in a successful one, but not successful because I'm in it. So it would be a successful one, but I would be in it for like an episode or something. Just because I think it would be funny, and I don't know. I think it would be.
You would have to wait a while for your episode to come back round when it goes into syndication. You'd be there watching, like, oh, quick, this is my episode. This is my episode. Whereas if you were in the whole series,
I don't want to because I want to watch myself. I want to do it for the experience of like going out, saying the lines, doing that acting because it looks funny.
Would you just be like the delivery person, or
no? I want
you'd actually. Okay, all right, okay, all right.
I'm like someone's sister or something.
But what I'm getting at is, obviously, the kids in this are played by Johnny Galecki, who is Leonard from that, and Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
Who, she went on to have, like, a massive career.
Yeah.
Which was great for her. Singing and acting and doing all kinds of things. So she's done really well for herself. Mm-hmm. He has also done, like, pretty well for himself.
Yeah, because wasn't he in a show before Big Bang Theory as well?
I think he was in a few things. I don't know.
Like a maths thing.
I don't know.
Not maths, but he was like a numbers person.
He might have been in. I know that he appeared in something that we had on the other day that was just on, and I was like, oh my god, it's him. It's that guy.
Yeah, he's in films sometimes.
Yeah, he just turns up in things. And I want to know how many residual checks this guy is getting through on a monthly, yearly basis. And it's just like, oh, National Lampoon's check came through. Some networks bought that again.
TV. Oh yeah, I suppose in America it's probably like rampant.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many residual checks
he was
he's
in
getting.
Roseanne as well.
See that?
He must have been so young then.
I didn't realise
similar age to what he was in this film.
How long this guy had been acting for, doing this kind of thing. So
yeah, he's a child actor basically, I suppose.
Yeah. So if one thing has come out,
he must be one of the most successful child actors that we never knew about.
Well, yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, he was in Spock. That's what we were watching the other day.
That's yeah. In Spock.
What?
He was in Spock.
For the Love of Spock.
Oh yeah, all right, that thing. Right. Yeah.
Oh no, that's not what we were watching.
No. What were you trying to say? He was in Spock. No, that's a different film altogether. That you can only get that on like dodgy websites. That's weird. No, I knew he was in the thing for the Love of Spock because they asked him that after he was in Big Bang Theory to do a whole thing about how much Star Trek had impacted his life.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's a successful. I guess he's one of the more successful child actor stories that there is.
Yeah, that is.
Because
definitely.
he's gone on to do big things, not really had any issues or problems or been the source of, weird things.
It didn't look like he was in any other National Lampoon films, though.
Oh, okay, so maybe it was just this one, I don't know. But I would argue that Vacation, the first one, and this one are the most
They're the ones
successful
that I've heard
ones.
of,
Yeah. Because I didn't realise that there was a Vegas Vacation that happened years later until I looked it up.
Is that Chevy Chase as well?
It is. They're all Chevy Chase and they're all whoever his wife was played by. I forget her name now. But it's all them. And obviously National Lampoons did other comedy films as well as these ones.
Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, and I guess that his brother Eddie.
Oh yeah, they do have the kids, but they're weird kids.
Are they?
Weird old kids.
Oh, yeah, I guess because they were older at that point. So that's why they're going to Vegas, because they're taking them to Vegas because they're old
No, but
enough.
why switch
That
out
would make sense.
the actors, though?
Because they probably couldn't have the same kids, because it would have only been 8 years later, and they might not have been looking old enough to be kids that would be old enough to go to Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah. So that makes sense they swapped them out for that.
So it's 8 years later in our world, but not in theirs.
I don't know. Did you hear the bit where I said I only found out about this film when I looked at... I don't actually know, surprisingly. I didn't know this film existed until 5 minutes ago.
Well, don't bring it up then.
Well, I thought it was an interesting point over how many of these films Chevy Chase has done.
I guess.
I also assume that his brother Eddie turns up in a few of them as well, because I feel like the joke of him turning up so suddenly in this film...
Yeah, he's in the other one.
Yeah, I feel like that is a joke that is set up from the other ones. That his brother just turns up.
I think this is the only one that had those kids, though.
Okay. It's weird that he's in this film and it's like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah, I know. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh, that guy.
We interrupt this show to bring you a brief word from our sponsors.
Amber, I would like to tell you about Greenbird gift baskets. Cool, you're interested?
Interested.
Excellent, I'm glad you said that, because Greenbird Gift Baskets is a small local business based in Southampton offering gourmet gift baskets beautifully hand-wrapped in biodegradable cellophane. They use products from small local businesses wherever they can and are perfect gifts for weddings, birthdays, baby showers, or simply as a thank you.
We are passionate about supporting small local businesses who offer delicious products and share our values on sustainability. There is a selection of baskets available online, Greenbird gift baskets at square.site, and all baskets are totally customisable for dietary needs and tastes.
Greenbird gift baskets offer sweet, savoury and mixed baskets as well as picnic boxes, and prices start from just £25 for a gift basket. Amber, they can even add wine or fizz for an extra special touch.
Collection is available from Southampton, or they can deliver to surrounding areas. So visit Greenbird Gift Baskets at square.site and check them out on Facebook and Instagram at Greenbird Gift Baskets.
Oh, and make sure to tell them that Back to the Revuture sent you, yeah?
And now we return to your regularly scheduled programming.
So what were your kind of favourite parts of this film?
I really liked the loopy auntie.
Do you know,
she was funny.
Do you know, as soon as she turned up, because I've seen a little bit of this film, but it was only like 10 minutes worth, and it had her in it.
Oh.
And as soon as she turned up, and I remember that she was in it, I was like, I feel like Amber will really like this loopy old lady. Because it's just some stuff that she does throughout the film.
I like being in the car.
I feel like she gives off one of the grandmas from the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
The one that's like just a little bit loopy and just says some random things. Yeah. And no one really knows what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like she gives off those vibes.
And then at the end, she actually says something good and everyone's so shocked.
Yeah. So, would you like a little bit, since we've been talking about him, would you like a little bit of Is This Trivia Worth the Time? Because it's evolved from Trivia Time into Is This Trivia Worth the Time?
It never is though, is it?
I feel like this one might be.
All right, okay.
Because we have been talking about him a lot.
All right.
So, only 2 Christmas-themed movies came out in the year this came out, which was 1989.
Are you going to make me guess what the other one was?
No, I'm not going to make you guess what the other one was. Right? I mean, I don't know why they've put Prancer 1989 as this, because like obviously that's the year it came out, because you just said it was 1989.
Oh right, yeah, I've never heard of it.
I've got to say, a lot of the trivia surrounding this film on IMDb, pretty rubbish.
Yeah.
I have cherry-picked the best ones.
Oh, all right.
So, only 2 Christmas-themed movies came out in 1989, Prancer, and this film. Johnny Galecki was in both of them.
Ah, he must be rich.
This is what I'm saying.
He should have done what Macaulay Culkin did and divorced his parents so that he could get all the money, so they wouldn't spend
This
any
is
of it.
what I'm saying. Like, how many residual checks has this guy got
but
coming in?
no one's ever heard of Prancer, though, have they? Come on.
No. But
Well,
this is the thing. He did 2 Christmas movies in 1 year going, one of these has got to be a success. One of them was.
I bet he gets paid mulch, though, because he was so young.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably something in
it's
his
probably not even
contract
worth
that
it.
he got, like, a
A
per
couple of
diem.
turkeys every time.
Every year they send him a Christmas ham.
Yeah.
And that's it. He doesn't need to worry about going out and getting a Christmas ham or
We'll
a
pay
Christmas
your Christmas
turkey.
lights bill for the month.
That's about it. Man, we think this guy's rich, but actually the only reason he did Big Bang Theory is because he got screwed.
Yeah.
So I found that a little weird that he was obviously hedging his bets and was in 2 Christmas movies in the same year. But yeah. So here's another one. And this is light spoilers for the film if you haven't seen it. But obviously we are talking about it in great depth. So, you know. The scene where the cat bit the Christmas lights cord and got electrocuted was nearly cut from the movie.
Yeah, that was horrific.
I thought it was hilarious.
I know you did.
Because I could... Half of
Yeah, because you're saying he's going to electrocute the cat. He's going to electrocute the cat.
half of the comedy
Yeah,
in
you're
this
anticipating
film
it.
is like the anticipation of knowing, of like seeing what's gonna happen and the build up to it. Like that's half of the comedy in this film.
We didn't even get to see Christmas Day.
That's another bit of Christmas trivia. It's like this is one of the only Christmas films that doesn't take place on Christmas Day. It's like, well, not like on Christmas Day, right? Not one of the only films, because obviously Die Hard doesn't take place on Christmas Day. But it's weird that it's a Christmas vacation and you don't actually see them on Christmas Day.
Yeah, because they're counting down all the days.
Yeah, but that's another bit. But yeah, the comedy in this film is like anticipation, and that's my kind of comedy. Like, oh, something's gonna go wrong. Like, his actions here have caused something to go wrong imminently, and it's all set up for payoff later on and everything, and I'm all about it. So the scene with the cat biting the Christmas lights and getting electrocuted was nearly cut from the movie. Prior to the first test screening, the studio executives wanted the scene taken out, fearing that it might offend some viewers. But producer Matty Simmons, good old Matty Simmons, good old Matty Simmons coming to the rescue, begged them to leave the scene in, and they eventually gave in to his request. After the first test screening, the test audience scored the cat electrocution scene as their #1 favourite scene throughout the entire film. Oh, irony!
But I was going to say, I don't think they'd be that offended because they know that it's a Chevy Chase film, so they know what they let themselves in for. Something
offensive will happen at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot in this film that just made me laugh because it's all of the things that are going wrong.
I mean, the guy was a bit dumb, wasn't he?
Who? Clark Griswold?
Yeah.
I feel like none of it was really Clark Griswold's
No, but
fault,
like
though.
common sense dumb. Like, why are you picking a road fight with a truck and another truck?
Right.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
Why are you spending your bonus before you even get your bonus? That also dumb.
Dumb things.
Especially if you don't even have the amount of money in the first place. That's just stupid.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
Fantasizing about a naked woman. Dumb.
Well, yeah. Well, yes, that is very, very dumb. Yes,
Okay,
you are right.
Fantasizing about a naked woman that isn't your wife.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Yeah, that's pretty dumb. Yeah. I feel like half of it isn't even his fault, but he's just so determined to keep
and a lot
smiling
of it isn't something that he does either.
and get through it and just put up with everything.
Yeah, because the money, his bonus was what was getting him through, and then he
Yeah.
went mad when it didn't turn up.
Yeah.
And when it was rubbish.
And he uses like 30 different words to describe his boss.
Yeah.
And another trivia bit was that A lot of people think that it was all ad-libbed. And actually, only part of it was ad-libbed. About half of what he says was ad-libbed. And the rest was the people that were facing away from the camera.
Yeah.
They had signs that were like around their necks with words on them that Chevy Chase had written out to give himself prompts to come up with other things.
Oh, okay.
No, it was like prompts to like come up with things.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want to use this word at some point, and this word at some point, and this word. So he wrote it all down. So half of it was
like
looking
he
at
made it up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's clever.
So it was very, very clever how they did that, and he used a total of 30 different words to describe his boss, which I quite liked. But it's just, I feel sorry for him in a way that
so do
all of
I,
this
a little
stuff
bit.
keeps happening.
He just wanted to have a big family Christmas.
Yeah.
Why didn't that guy say to the guy that he worked with? Why didn't he say to him, "Oh yeah, the bonus came through. It's terrible, by the way."
I mean, I don't know. See, this is the thing. Didn't he say like he got it through in the mail, but he hadn't looked at it or something?
Oh, maybe he got told that it was at home.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I think that's what it
I'll
is.
let him off
Otherwise,
then.
someone would have clued him in.
Yeah, because I thought
And that's Chandler Bing's boss as well.
yeah, it is. I can't remember his name, but
Another Friends connection there.
I just call him Sir.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but
No. So, did you like this film overall?
know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Ah,
I
interesting.
didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. It was kind of just like, yeah, it was okay. I wasn't like really bored or anything.
No.
And it was quite short, so it was over and I was
like
like,
that.
oh, okay.
See, now, here's the thing. I'm going to start petitioning for Christmas movies.
I'm saying
To
all
start-
movies.
Well, maybe not all movies. I get that there are some stories that need a certain amount of time to tell them thoroughly. However, James Cameron insisting on films being like 3.5 hours long every time he makes them, or Christopher Nolan making these epically long films every time you make them, like, okay, guys, like, we get it. You got a story, you want to tell it to its fullest. Apparently, and I don't know how well this statement is going to age. I might look back on this one podcast episode in 5 years' time and go, well, that didn't age very well. But
Right.
according to our sources, James Cameron has turned in a 9-hour cut of Avatar
I've heard
3.
that as well. I heard that as well.
The third Avatar film, and he's
That's just so
petitioned, like,
stupid. It's
how
because
do you
half of it
have-
isn't actors, half of it's just made up.
how do you have a
So he can
9-hour
just
cut?
do whatever.
Like, how is one, like, Lawrence of Arabia, one of the biggest, longest epics ever told, never reached 9 hours?
No.
Like, come on.
Half of it's
Jimmy
probably
C, what are you doing?
half of it's probably Jim Cam.
Jimmy Cam. Come on.
Half of it's probably just like when you give Sims free will and watch them for ages. It's just like that.
He's written an Avatar AI program, and
you
he's
just sort of
built
watch
this
it for 9
world,
hours and they just go along.
and he's just letting his little blue cat people run around and do things for 9 hours. He goes, do you know what? Pretty interesting.
alright.
They did some pretty good stuff.
Better than
I'll
the
turn
first
that
one.
in. The first one was just Pocahontas with blue cat people. I mean, you know, it's fine. It's Fern Gully. It's essentially Fern Gully.
Oh yeah, they actually look like Fangully as well.
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, no, I understand. Like, I get why this might be a lot of people's favourite film, because
Yeah,
it is
I'm not
very
going to
funny.
badmouth it because I didn't
No.
feel anything like strong either way.
No. I feel like I would happily watch this again. Obviously, like, once a year is fine.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like I said, I'm going to petition for Christmas films to be around the 1.5 hour mark. Because, A, if Christmas films are shorter and you're not into Christmas, you don't have to be subjected to it as much.
Yeah.
But, B, if you are into Christmas, hey presto, you can get through more Christmas movies in the same amount of time if they're shorter. You could watch this one and Scrooged and Grinch all
Grinch is
in like
quite long.
one day. Yeah, Grinch is quite long. But like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you get
yeah.
through them all in like
Oh, same as that really irritating one about Santa and the court.
Santa and the...
It's got Matilda.
Oh, Miracle on 34th Street. Oh, bloody love that one.
Do you?
Oh, I do.
You actually like it?
I do.
It's really long, isn't it?
It's A to B tier.
Not the. You haven't seen the original one, have you?
I haven't seen the original one.
No.
Because there was
feel
like
like
an
that would be
original one, and then they remade it in like the 70s.
Oh, I don't know that. I just the black and white one is what I remember.
Yeah, and then they remade it in the 90s again.
Yeah, with Matilda.
With the Matilda
and Wilma
girl.
Flintstone.
Yeah.
But not the good one.
Yeah. Oh, no. Obviously. Not the one from Viva Rock Vegas. Yeah, she is dancing to Viva Rock Vegas in her head, everyone that's listening. That is happening. But yeah, I feel like, again, going back to our tiering system, Miracle on 34th Street, that's B, maybe A tier. Maybe A. I don't know, but it's kind of in the B tier. Like, safely. I don't know, but I feel like...
I mean, that's... It'd be... Yeah, I suppose so.
But I feel like I could watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation again next year and be like, yeah, this is still funny.
If it was on TV, I wouldn't go, ugh.
No, it's still funny, and I've got enough time to put something else on afterwards as well. Great,
Yeah.
Not a problem. So, I feel like we might give Christmas Vacation a rating in a little bit, but I feel like tradition being what it is, every Christmas special that we've done of Back to the Future, which is to say 2, I feel like we've learned something about ourselves in the process. You know, I feel like the first year we learned about how naughty we'd been around the Christmas time.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, we did some naughty stuff. Like, you found out about what had been bought for you. And
Oh, yeah.
last
That
year...
wasn't naughty, that was by accident.
That was by accident. Okay, fair enough.
And I kept it to myself because I knew it was
Yeah.
bad.
And you did very, very well. Last year, we found out we had a little, like, story about the one Christmas gift that I wanted as a kid that was, like, hard to find. So I feel like each year, we have these little personal Christmas anecdotes that we divulge.
Okay.
So...
You probably should have got me to pre-plan this.
Well, I know.
Well...
Maybe. But sometimes surprises create, you know, the best content, maybe. So I want to know, have you ever experienced, like, a Christmas disaster? I could ask you, what's the best Christmas vacation you've been on? But I know what the answer's going to be. Because...
Yeah, I've only ever taken holidays to Disney at Christmas. So
Disney at
every
Christmas.
single time, that's what it is.
Yeah. And since we've just got back from a massive holiday, which is why there's been a massive gap in our podcast between our Halloween special and our Christmas special.
Oh, yeah.
Because we took a 3-week holiday to Orlando.
And then I got ill for a week.
You came back quite sick. But Christmas at Disney, like, yeah, I get it now. I understand what it's about. And come the new year, we might do a special episode where we talk about our Christmas vacation that we did to, well, Christmas Thanksgiving kind of holiday around that time that we did to Orlando. We might do a whole episode on it because it'll make up and give a reasoning behind our 3-week gap that we... Well, longer than that, but we were on a holiday for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we might do that come New Year. And we've got some plans for what we're going to do. When we get to the New Year and get ourselves back on schedule, we've got some plans. But for this Christmas episode, have you ever experienced a Christmas disaster?
I've been thinking this whole time. I've never really had a massive disaster, as in like, oh, this has gone wrong, because... Like, being the child for most of it,
right?
I didn't really see it. Like, if something went wrong with the food, I probably wouldn't have even noticed. I would have just like, oh, there's food. It's not the type of thing like when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, I'm not at school and I've got presents, so you don't even pay attention to anything else. It's just like, oh, this is fine. Yeah. And I was quite an easygoing kid as well, so whatever happened just like went straight over my head. I was like, oh, I'm chill. Like one Christmas I was really ill, so I spent the whole Christmas day in bed because I was so ill.
No.
So I mean that's kind of a disaster, but also at the same time I quite like being in bed. It's not that bad. I didn't want to feel horrible, obviously, but I mean, it was annoying. I could hear everybody having a really good time downstairs and being like, laughing. So there was like loads of family in the house. And it was like, that was frustrating. But anyway, but
you got to sit and watch Viva Rock Vegas for the whole day, so
it wasn't even out yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it was,
how old were you then?
I hadn't seen it. Oh, I don't know, 12.
Oh,
so
that
it probably was out already, but I'd never seen it.
See, if you were a little bit more into your teenage years, you might not have found it quite so frustrating. You might have just been like, really I don't really mind. I'm just in bed and I'm not well, and I'd rather be by myself for a little bit anyway.
I know.
But
I
if
was
you're
ill
a
for
kid,
a couple of days as well, and then I got given. They my parents wrapped up a couple more presents and did another Christmas dinner like a couple of days after when I was feeling a lot better.
Aww.
So we had like a second Christmas because I couldn't have that one.
Well,
that was quite
nice.
Cool.
That turned out to be quite nice then.
Yeah.
Quite a nice thing in the end.
But for me, it was a disaster because I hated it. It made me cringe.
Okay.
It was kind of like this film, actually.
Okay.
It's almost exactly like this film.
All right.
We had the dog then, and we brought all the stuff in. Like, it's not on Christmas Day. It was like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Okay.
So we were decorating the house for Christmas. Brought all of the decorations in from the garage outside, and one of the boxes we didn't realise had a mouse in it.
Oh no!
And so we were kind of like, my mum wasn't there, thank goodness, because otherwise she would have gone mental.
Okay.
But like the
See, I imagine that your mum in a crisis like that would have actually kept a very cool, calm head, and maybe would have been like the logical one. But I don't know. I picture your mum as being like quite calm under pressure.
She is usually, but because it's like a mouse or an animal running around,
okay,
I don't know if she would have been a bit
different.
freaked. Like, but yeah. So when it was like a shoebox or a box of something, and that's what it was in. So the box is in the middle of the floor, and we couldn't work out why the dog kept kind of circling it and sniffing it and jumping back and making little noises, and we were like, oh
no,
stop being
so
so
the dog
annoying.
knew that it was there.
The dog knew it was there the whole time, and we were trying to put the tree up, and it's been ages, and she was like making noises and being all huffy and running about, and we were like, oh, you're not going to do this the whole time the tree's out, because we didn't know what she was doing this for. And I think it must have been her first like proper, no, it couldn't have been, I don't know, but and then the lid came off and the mouse came out, and I jumped onto the sofa exactly like in a film, and I was stood on the sofa and I was like like running with my legs out. My dad was like, it's just a mouse, I'll just put it back in the box and take it outside, it's fine. And the dog was going mental because it could see a mouse running around, so he had to try and close both the doors, move the sofa into a position where like the mouse couldn't kind of really like get around it,
right.
like something like covering the bottom of the sofa so it couldn't go under the sofa, and I was on top of the sofa jumping around. It was chaos, and the dog was just going crazy, and he was just like, but then afterwards he was like, oh, I love that, that's such a nice Christmas story, got visited by a little mouse. No, that is not. So even that, which was horrible, was turned into something that was like, oh, what a nice Christmas story. We can tell people there was a mouse in the house and the Christmas decorations. It's so quaint.
Do not tell Mum. Well, I've been trying to think of a Christmas disaster that happened at my house, and I can't.
One time they forgot sweet corn, and that's my favourite veg.
Oh no, really?
that was a disaster.
I bet they knew about it as well. Well, speaking of, like, the most recent one that comes to my mind is we were sat eating Christmas dinner, and for the record, my mum goes ham on the Christmas dinner. Like that,
We've still got stuff in our freezer from last year.
Like it literally.
That's not a joke.
No, it isn't. Like my mum will make everything under the sun that could possibly be. Like even that weird pickled red cabbage thing that no one ever really likes. She'll do that. It's not like she'll take a list of what people want to have. It's like, I will make everything and people can have their favourite bits and as much of it as they want.
And then take it home with you so I don't have to look at it again.
And literally will make up boxed meals. She will get like a massive turkey and she will have, if she could, I don't know how she does it with one oven, but if she could, she would have 3 ovens going at the same time to get everything done. I mean, she does now, thank the Lord, hallelujah. But she'll basically create a 3 or 4 course lunch ongoing. And the biggest one that happened recently was she will get everything pre-ordered and have everything in the freezer ready to go. So she'll pick it all up, pick it all out on a checklist. Everything is ticked off on the list, has times that it goes in at, everything like that. Great, no problem, all sorted. Everything's ready at the same time. Couple of years ago, we sat down, we were in the middle of eating, and she just stops, pauses for a second, puts her fork down, sits back in her chair and goes, I didn't put the parsnips in. And there's just this silence
like no one knows.
throughout the room. Like,
no one's noticed.
No one has noticed because she cooks so much and she's just there going like, and she looks, and bless her, she looks quite sad at this point. And I go, are you all right? She's like, I just can't believe I forgot the parsnips. Like, they're really important. I'm like, they're not that important. It's fine. It's not. So that wasn't. I mean, it's not exactly like a big disaster, but it was.
It wasn't a disaster for you. You didn't even
No,
notice.
it wasn't. No. I didn't notice. But I was like,
rude.
look.
You're so rude.
I was like, look. If you really want to, cook up the parsnips after we're done and stick them in a box, and I'll take them home and I'll eat them at some point. Like that will be fine. Put it in a box.
We'll sit down and you'll make us eat them in front of you.
But we did nearly have a big Christmas disaster one year.
Oh yeah, you did.
And he will absolutely kill me for telling this story on the podcast and letting people know about it.
Specifically then.
But there was a family member who shall not be named on my side of the family did nearly burn down our kitchen by leaving...
But not in the way that you would expect.
No, not in the way that you expect. By leaving a lovely decorative Christmas candle lit in the window of our kitchen while we all left the house and went out to do Christmas things in town, a short walk away. One other member of our party had forgotten phone, wallet,
just
personal.
As well. See, everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. Came back, curtain in the kitchen, absolutely ablaze. Had to put it out.
Is that why you didn't have curtains off?
That's
anymore?
why we didn't no longer have curtains in the kitchen. We changed them to plastic blinds after that, very promptly. But there was half of the kitchen, well, not half of the kitchen, half of the window in the kitchen completely ablaze. Nearly burnt the house down. Holy crap.
That is a disaster. That actually
that was crisis averted.
That's not like Little Mouse in the living room.
No, so luckily that is something we look back on, like your mouse situation,
Well,
and now
yeah,
laugh
I wasn't going to
about.
die from my mouse situation.
But we luckily now look back on and laugh about, and it is something that we, much to this family member's chagrin, bring up nearly every year.
It's multiple times a year.
It is, well, yeah. I mean, he's not allowed near naked flames anymore, but, I mean, you know. And it's why
Why was it his fault?
Well, because he wanted to have it lit. It was his,
right.
Christmas
Who
candle.
put it next to the curtain, though?
Oh, that's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we're trying to figure out.
No one wants to admit.
No one wants to admit that.
It was the mouse.
Ah, that mouse getting up to some chaos. But yeah, we would love to know any other Christmas disasters that have afflicted any of our listeners, whether it's from the turkey being a tad too dry to a massive family falling out and something getting broken. I think that was the only
Thankfully, that hasn't happened.
No, thankfully that hasn't happened either. No, I think 1 year
We've
something.
had too much bevs and falling into the tree.
Oh yeah.
That's classic, isn't it? That's you've
happened.
been framed.
That's happened. Yeah. I think 1 year, one disaster happened with one of my mum's Christmas plates getting broken. Oh, you didn't want to be in the house when that. Oh, yeah.
That can be avoided.
Yeah, especially because I think it was me that broke it.
Probably.
I think it was.
That makes sense.
No, I'm very bad with plates.
Yeah.
I'm clumsy at the best of times, but just keep me away from fine china.
Yeah.
Like, I am not to be trusted around the good china.
That's why I don't have any.
No, we've just got, plates. It's just okay, it's fine. They're just plates.
I don't buy nice things.
No! Because you know that I'm going to... How many of those pasta bowls have we gone through now?
Oh, yeah.
Because I constantly break them or chip them. Because I unload them from the dishwasher in a haphazard fashion.
Well.
So we would like to know what your big Christmas disasters have been. Has someone burnt the turkey? Did someone sit in the Christmas cake? Or, I don't know. Something crazy like that. Break every single light on the Christmas tree somehow.
Well, that's a bit strong.
I don't know.
I think squirrels in the tree.
Squirrels in the tree. Yes, anything like that. We want to know about what has happened at your Christmas. But while you're thinking about that, I think it's time that we give National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation a rating. And as we do every episode, whoever hasn't seen the film gets to give the film its rating for the episode. But every episode, what the rating is out of will change. So we both haven't seen this film. This was relatively new to me. I'd seen a couple of bits of it, but it was only a couple of minute stints, really. So it wasn't the whole film. So would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first while you think of something for it to be out of?
Okay, you can go first.
Okay, alright. So, I mean, if this was a regular film, I probably would have given it a 4 because I really enjoyed it and I really laughed at it. In a way, because it's a Christmas film, and I know how many other Christmas films there are that are better than this one, that are S-tier Christmas films, I feel like in some way that pulls it down in a weird way by comparison. But since it's the season of giving, I might just give it that extra half star and say it's a 4. And
that's generous.
It is generous.
Although you did laugh a lot.
I did laugh a lot. I did. There was a lot to like in this film. So I feel like
if I were the neighbours, I would have left by now. Because terrible things kept happening to them, and that would have wound me up.
Yeah, it's flipping.
Seinfeld lady.
Yeah, Seinfeld lady, Elaine.
Yeah.
Elaine from Seinfeld. So everyone was popping up in this movie. There are so many sitcom 7 degrees of separation in this. It's crazy. So, yeah, because it's the season and it's a season of giving and everyone is generous and I feel like being generous, I feel like I'm going to give this a 4. I feel like if maybe this had been any other time, maybe, wouldn't have been quite that much.
Okay.
But I feel like 4 is pretty fair for this, especially considering that this might sit in the B, high B, low A in the tier list. I'm going to give it 4 squirrels.
Squirrel!
Yeah! And I think that's where Orlando Universal Studios got the idea for Earl the Squirrel.
Yeah, probably. Because it looks like the squirrel in the tree.
It does look like the squirrel
pops
in the tree.
out.
Yeah.
Probably. I wonder who makes it. I didn't even see.
This I actually believe was Warner Brothers, which is weird.
I don't
But
know,
maybe Universal owned the distribution rights to it, or they filmed it at Universal Studios or something. I don't know.
Don't know.
But
I'm gonna give it 3.
3. Okay.
I thought it was like it's middling, it's fair. It wasn't like really bad, but it wasn't the best I've seen. You laughed a lot, so that made me think that it must have been like okay. Must have been quite good. You were seeing something good. I don't know.
Just the bit where they're eating that dry turkey and they're all crunching on it, and it's just like they're having to drink so much water to like
He's
get
pouring
it
like
down.
a whole jug of gravy all over it.
Yeah,
That's me, but with all food anyway.
Yeah, that's your that's the northern half of your family coming into play there, having gravy with things.
Yeah.
I still remember that Christmas dinner that I cooked, and I said I've made your dad a gravy because I know how thick. Like, because the other gravy that we had was quite thin, and I'm like, I've made you a different gravy because it's thicker, and I know how much you much you like that, so it's to your taste.
And it was like a bit more.
Yes, I put a bit more there. Go on. I'm like, yeah, all right, fair enough. So thankfully, I'm not in charge of Christmas dinner this year. Only
you did a
aspects
good job.
of
It was very good.
I did do a good job of it, but it was a lot of stress.
Well,
It was a lot of work, a lot of stress.
Yeah, it is a lot of
but,
work.
Yeah. What are you gonna give it 3 out of?
Chainsaws.
Chainsaws.
Because I don't know why, but it seemed to have a chainsaw and it sounded quite a lot.
Yeah. He did. He did. That was unnerving. I don't trust. Something about Chevy Chase with a chainsaw that I just don't trust.
No.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's.
I thought he was going to dress up as Santa
I.
for the girl, but he didn't, did he? He just
No.
he bought her presents, I suppose, which is nice because she wasn't going to get any. But yeah, I thought he was going to dress up as Santa, and I never saw that.
Maybe he did on the actual Christmas day, but we never saw that bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But yeah, no, I liked this film, and I think we can kind of agree it's kind of what B, maybe A tier, but maybe B.
Not A for me.
Not A for you. So high B on the tier list.
This tier list is getting more complicated. Didn't realise there was grades.
Well, I mean, if it still fits in the B, but it's like a high B, it's still going to be a B tier.
Oh right.
But it's just like, yeah, that's B, but it's like on the higher end of B.
Yeah. Okay.
You know that. You know that when making the tier list.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So, there you have it. The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation gets 4 squirrels from me and 3 chainsaws from... You really don't expect a chainsaw to be in a Christmas movie or associated with it, but there you go. But what do you all out there listening think? Do you think that the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is one of these Christmas movies that you just can't do without? It's one of the highest rated Christmas movies for you and needs to be seen every single year? Or is it one that's kind of skated by you on a high velocity snow sled?
Oh.
I don't know. It was because of that scene in it's called a callback.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What would you place on your Christmas film tier list? And where would it go? Keep an eye on this space to see if it's something that we actually end up doing for the purpose of the podcast. Heaven knows, I might get bored over Christmas and need something to do. I don't know. And what was your biggest Christmas disaster that happened to you? Obviously, hopefully nothing too morbid or anything.
No.
We don't want anyone like having any really sad stories, but the comical Christmas disaster, I should preface it with. Like, you know, what was the biggest comical Christmas disaster? Who ended up with gravy on the ceiling or something? All of these and more can be posted to our social medias. I am at Drew Bridger.
At Amber Inch.
And make sure to use the hashtag BTTRpod so that we know when we are being talked about on the internet. Amber!
Yes.
If the listeners have enjoyed this episode, and indeed any other episodes, what else should they be doing right this second?
They should like, subscribe and review on the podcast service and rate 5 stars. Also follow at BTTR Podcast on Insta.
On Insta, yes. So we will try and post some more stuff to our Instagram that is podcast related, but it does give us a healthy idea of exactly who is following us and interacting with the show. So you have options on messaging us on Insta, messaging us on Twitter, and getting in contact with us of what you might like to see us cover in the future. And if we do decide to cover the film of your choice, you'll get a shout out and we'll dedicate the episode just to you. And whether we've seen it or not, hopefully not, because it's always better when it's fresh. But if we decide that we have seen it and it's good enough for us to look at, we'll dedicate the episode to you personally. I know. But until that point, Amber, I just wanted to let you know that I have reconsidered my earlier statement, and I actually have decided to do a Christmas dinner.
Have you?
Yes, and do you know what? The good news is it's in the oven and it's cooking right now. So right now, after this podcast, after we're done recording, we can go downstairs and we can have ourselves a lovely Christmas... Wait, how long has it been running for? Oh man, that turkey's been in the oven for like 6 hours now.
No, but I'm actually hungry.
Oh, that's gonna be a really dry turkey.
No, but I'm actually hungry.
Okay, well, guess I better get making some really thick gravy for you then, hadn't I? Goodness knows your love of gravy.
Oh, yeah. And not turkey, so...
So we'll just have gravy and potatoes then.
Yes.
Oh my god, actually, do you know what? All joking aside, that actually is an ideal meal. So I might actually go and make some roast potatoes and gravy now. Okay, that's where we're cutting it. Roast potatoes and gravy right now. Right after recording. There we go.